Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending on where you are. How is everyone? I'm running a little bit slow, a couple of minutes late, a little bit slow this morning. Just bear with me while I bring up my YouTube so I can. I know I can watch it in StreamYard, but I'm not gonna. That's not what I do. So, a little bit of interesting news this morning coming out of Australia on the Fotis Dulos case, attempted suicide. And there was indeed, oh, I might just wait a little bit. Hey, how are we this morning or this afternoon? It's good to see you guys. Love you all. You're so bright and happy and love you. Guess what there is? Guess what I don't have a copy of because it won't be out yet. If it is at all, because the Fotis Dulos' suicide attempt obviously has been sealed. We can understand why. But apparently there was a suicide note. Now, how 100% sure of this am I? Zero. But apparently there is a suicide note, and it doesn't, the reports don't go in to say, it doesn't go into detail, at length, except for the fact that apparently Fotis Dulos has left a suicide note protesting his innocence in killing his wife, Jennifer. So that is just like crazy. I think everyone was expecting that perhaps that was going to be the motive for his suicide. However, I can get you guys up to speed on the issues with his bond, which I think is more likely going to be the motive towards his attempted suicide. So his family have flown out from Greece. They are with him at the moment. They won't be interviewed by anyone. They are looking at perhaps doing that later, but not right at this moment. And I mean, that is understandable. He's still in a critical condition on life support. But as far as I can see, no one has come forward with any other updates apart from that. So it's interesting to find out that he apparently did leave a suicide note, because the police wouldn't allude to that the other day at the house, one way or the other. Just posting. I'm really failing today. Just posting this to Facebook. But like I said, I'm just a bit on the delayed side with my laptop at the moment. Okay, how are we all? Yes, Shine on. I kind of I was surprised at that. I thought maybe, but then we know what guys like this are like, that he's not going to feel guilt over this. Otherwise, he would have confessed or at least told something before now. Pardon me. Before now. Just got a frog in my throat. So, pardon me. It's more likely that the thought of going back to jail is what caused this suicide attempt. And I say that because this would have been strike 3. Strike 2 was that he came home and touched some stuff and removed some stuff from a memorial for Jennifer outside of his home. Now, I'm guessing it wasn't on his property. If it was on his property, he probably could have done what he wanted to do with it. But I think there's a tree kind of like off his property to the left as you're kind of looking at the house, and there's a banner on there, justice for her, for justice for Jennifer, I believe, and flowers and, things like that. So his strike 2 was in removing and touching some of those things. So strike 3 would have been there was an issue with the bond, and there was an emergency bond hearing on Wednesday, whilst he was in the hospital, obviously continues to be in the hospital going through the hyperbaric chamber to give his body 3 times more oxygen than what we would normally get. However, this whole bond thing was a bit unclear, but I can tell you exactly, if I get pop-ups going away, I can tell you exactly what happened with the bond. So you guys know that it was originally set at $6 million. That the bond hearing on Wednesday, they increased it, not by much in my opinion. They increased it to $6.5 million. Cigarette while I tell you this. He was due to pay 7% of that, so it's going to be different from probably courts to courts, state to states. I don't know, but anyway, when it was originally $6 million, he was supposed to pay 7% of that, which worked out to be, it's too early for math for me, but it worked out to be about $420,000 that he needed to bond out. And we know that he would do anything, try anything to stay out of prison. I mean, that is clearly obvious if indeed this suicide note is true and he claims his innocence, then it looks like he would rather die than go back to prison. So he was out on bond based on that $420,000 assurity, the 7% of $6 million ish, by the bond company. The bond companies come back now and have, a couple of days ago, and had issue with some of the assurities on the actual paperwork. So the Palmetto Surety Company is the one that secured it, and it was saying it, and so they were, on the day that he tried to commit suicide, they were saying that they no longer would do so because the collateral used to secure it wasn't sufficient. So Dulos had on there 6 properties, 2 of which were very close to going into foreclosure, so they wouldn't have counted towards it. And also there was a 3rd property out of the 6 that apparently was severely overvalued. So that again was going to be a problem for the Palmetto Surety Company. There was only one, I'm trying to think of the word, indemnitor, that's it. There was only 2 indemnitors listed on the documents. One was an old work friend of his. I can't think of her first name. Anna Curry. Lived in North Carolina, but was an old friend of his. She contributed $147,000 in cash to his bond and promised to pay another $272 more that was going to be monthly payments until like April 21 or something. It's crazy. Like, we all need friends like that. I mean, to be able to just like pay this out. Hey, Mr. J, how are you going? Yeah, Sarah, essentially, they have lost two parents now. I said this, I think, the other day or yesterday, that, that's still, even, especially for the younger ones, like, that's still their daddy. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter what happens or anything like that, that's their relationship with him to decide. They'll be guided, obviously, by Jennifer's mother, who currently has the 5 children under armed guard in New York. But, that's their relation to have with him, and he didn't even care to, hello. So, just waving to someone. Camera's not on. Well, it is on, but I got a little trick up the sleeve. See? Um, so, yeah, where was I? All right. So this friend of his had paid in 2 amounts, an initial amount of 147,000 to his bond, which was at that stage 420,000. You guys can help me now. It's been up to 6.5 million. He would have to pay 7% of that. However, they have said that if he regains, consciousness and it can be removed from the hospital at all, which is looking less and less likely, that he is to be rearrested, obviously, for this failing to attend this bond hearing. So with this friend of his, Anna Curry, she did pay that 147, and she also signed a promissory note for $3 million. So I think the 7% actually had to be like cash, and then there were other amounts to make up the other percentage assurities of property, and that is where it wasn't the issue with the friend. That money stood still there to be included in it. It was just that half of the properties had issue with them as being assurities for bonding out. So that would appear to be the motive. The home where he was found, the Jefferson Crossing home, one of those is that house that we viewed the other day. That's in foreclosure. So he can't use that against his bond. The 2 indemnitors listed on the documents were Anna friend, Anna Curry, for former co-worker, and listed as, interestingly enough, as his best friend. I don't blame him. Probably be my best friend if you gave me $400,000 as well. But she signed a $3 million promissory note, and the other indemnitor was a high-profile private investigator who was initially hired by Dulos's lawyers, and the South Carolina insurance company that initially underwrote the bond package has now this week, been seriously questioned it. I do believe that, you could go so far to say that he knew it was all going to fall apart. The 1 overvalued property, the 2 in foreclosure, this kind of stuff. So the judge on Wednesday, so the bond hearing went ahead a day later, obviously with Dulos being absent in hospital. He wasn't. He said on Wednesday that he wasn't looking at the issue of revoking the bond. He said he was taking up the issue if Dulos is ever able to attend court again. So they're just going to be just waiting and seeing basically what the medical reports are that come back, and who knows when that is going to be. I mean, Dulos's lawyer was supposed to come out and do a second update on him on Tuesday night, I think it was, and he didn't end up coming out. So just reading your messages here, and the cigarette is still like still got like 2/3. Yeah, shine on. We're mixing in the wrong circles, but yeah, apparently it was an employee of Dulos's that fronted up the cash component of it. Well, not even the whole lot, just 147,000, but it seems like there was some sort of payment plan involved where she would pay a monthly amount. I wonder how much it was. I did see it. Let me see if I can find it. She agreed to pay the balance of $272,150 in 15 installments on the 9th of every month until April 2021, records show. So let's have a look. Yeah, there's not much else on the paperwork for it. I was just scrolling through that. He has to list obviously his dependents. He put Curry down as his best friend. Hanging with Mr. J, he claimed he cares about those kids. Yes, he did, very publicly. Yet he let this happen to their mother, and he did this to himself. I mean, I know a lot of people are feeling sorry for him and wondering what sort of mental space he is in and all the rest of it, and the fact that he'll either die or he'll be a vegetable for the rest of his life, or we've all seen the I think the videos that have come out where doctors have talked about long-term carbon monoxide poisoning, what it will do to you. And I think we can all safely say he's not going to be the same person he was Tuesday morning. So for him to claim that he cares about those kids, I mean, if this isn't just the biggest example of that being so not true, then I don't know what is at all. It is just crazy. Excuse the background phlegm noises, like flatmate. But she's more than a friend in your opinion, Sarah? Well, I don't know. If you've been friends with someone for 20 years, which I think it was early 2000s that they worked together, then maybe someone would, front that kind of money for a friend. But it is possible that, it could be something else going on. I guess, he can't have contact with what's her name? What's the mistress's name? Draconis. He can't have contact with her. So, and Mawini's in jail. So, where's a man to go for some fun? I don't know. I guess he was on house arrest though. There would have been no need for the no, but I think for someone like that, he still needs to have control, even in attempted death. He would still need to. He would still want people to know that he was innocent. And I understand where the people are coming from who say he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I get that, but I think we're talking about two different things here. We're talking about legalities and ethics, so is it legal to take your own life? well, it's not illegal. I mean, if you die, they can't arrest you. But is it ethical to leave 5 children alone without a father and a mother? No, I don't think anyone would agree that it is. And this is why a lot of people who think about committing suicide don't do it, because the thought of what it would do to their loved ones is sufficient enough for them to keep going in a lot of cases. And so, it's surprising, but it's not surprising. I mean, we know what this guy is like. Yeah, I mean, he kind of tried to blame a movie on her death, and let's assume that she is dead. I mean, there is no body. She's hasn't been brought out of hiding or anything like that. But that he said that she loved the movie Gone Girl, and he's pretty sure that is something like that she would do. Is fake her own death or disappearance and put it on the husband. So I thought I would pop in and just do an quick episode on those updates. There are some others. Firamuska has been charged with murder finally. She'll be in court 3rd of February, 9 a.m. Central, I think. Hey, Ginger, I rang you before, rang you girls. Jen is at school. I didn't know what you were doing, if you wanted to come in on the line. Well, you're on the phone. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to come in but I'm pretty much done. I mean, unless his file's been sealed. I get it. But interesting that, it is coming out now that there was a suicide note and he proclaims his innocence. So I guess we will just have to wait and see what happens as far as his medical stuff goes. But yeah, that's about it for now. Crystal Penny got sentenced yesterday. It's been a big week. It's been a big week with those 3. She got 3 years, so I don't think anyone thinks she's going to serve that much. I don't think so. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to hop off, and I may hop on again. I do have a bunch of other lives and that to do. Just when I've gone to do them, it's like the crash happened with Kobe, and then this with Fotis Dulos, and it's like everything happened at once. Do you want to come on, Ginger? Anyone want to come on? And I don't mind going longer. Let me just get the link. I'm glad that you are finally home. That is fabulous. Okay. Anyone want to come on? Just go to that link. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. It remains to be seen. Obviously, you can't trust these sources 100%. Suffice to say, I didn't get it from TMZ. Just almost as bad, though. Daily Mail's reporting that there is a suicide note left at the scene. If anyone wants to pop on and have a talk about Dulos, that is fine. I am happy to stay on a bit longer. And
hey,
as a Ginger, hello.
Hey, hello. How are you?
I am all right. Waking up to this stuff every morning, it's not usual.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't normally have this much crammed into a week with Firamuska and Kenny.
I don't know the stuff on Faramuska. I haven't kept up with the stuff on Faramuska.
Well, she has been charged with murder.
Well, capital murder, right?
Capital murder. Yeah. Sorry, this is Texas. Yes.
She may try for that one.
Well, I was thinking about a plea deal, and they'll take that off the table. That tends to be Texas's game. and a lot of states, depending on how the family feels, victim's family. So, but it's very. I mean, but
I look at it this way because I've had a friend whose son was in something, about part of the story.
yes.
And, it was between the death penalty or life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And they really wanted the death penalty. But in
This
a way,
was
I almost think that's easier.
was this
Because
Pennsylvania?
think about
This was Pennsylvania, right?
that was Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. Spending a life in prison, which sounds pretty crappy to me, looks pretty crappy, or killing yourself off and not having to pay for the crimes that you committed. He's a coward.
Mm-hmm.
He's a freaking coward. He's a egotistical, narcissistic coward because God forbid if he was wrong or he admitted that he was wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously this guy's ego is bigger than everything else. That's how I
Definitely.
feel. This
Definitely.
guy,
Um,
this guy's a piece of shit. Sorry.
it
Excuse my
no, it
language.
it does lend towards the motive of just not wanting to go. He's not going to go back to jail. No way, no how. And I think
Well,
he
that's the
knew that.
thing. Did you hear the part where they were going to take away his bond and have him bringing him back in? That's
Yeah,
when he killed himself.
that's right.
He's a
That's
freaking
right.
coward. He's a
Yep.
coward.
Hmm. And
So
to my
two
to my,
people, instead,
I'm
two
thinking
people are going to be charged with this who really weren't the masterminds. He definitely was. I mean, it's obvious. That's obvious.
he
And I
was.
don't care what anybody says. The evidence is overwhelming.
I mean that
Overwhelming.
they might have had a motive, but nowhere near as big as his. Um, Trachonis may have wanted to keep him.
He probably promised money to all of them.
Probably, but it looks like he
Of
doesn't
course.
have it. He doesn't
No,
have it. The house where he
because
committed suicide, that's in foreclosure. Another one is they have six properties that were listed on. Oh my God, he's having an
bless you,
attack.
Tony.
Jeez. Um, I am in the process of moving into my organizing my studio and moving in there, but it's not going to help with that. Sorry, the only thing that will help with that is either murder or divorce.
Okay, let's not go there, Miss Murder.
Okay,
Okay.
better not. Better not. Another Jeffstein, sorry, Jeffstein. He's another Jeffrey Epstein coward. Blondie, exactly. Yeah. What is it with these guys?
I wouldn't. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein was a coward. Jeffrey Epstein was killed.
You think he was
Come on.
killed?
Oh my!
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I lean towards that with the lack of evidence and
No.
and
I mean,
and things like that. But
think about it. So happened the guards fell asleep. There's no video of everything that should have been. It's all missing. It just
yeah,
so happened
that's what
to
I'm
be that
saying.
way. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
not it's not
They
just
they
evidence
think
there
we
that
are
could make someone
gullible.
guilty. No, but lack of evidence too makes you question everything. It's like, okay, things that should be there are not there.
And they're just hoping that we're just going to forget about it.
Yeah.
And people aren't leaving this alone. And apparently, Prince Andrew is being called in. They're the FBI. They want to talk to him. They're like, "Hey, you promised that you would talk to us."
Hmm.
So I don't know what's happened in that so far. I haven't
I don't
heard
know how
anything.
much the crown can protect him on that. At the end of the day, he is
Well,
supposed to
I
be
don't think they
just
could
like
ever
you and
protect
me,
him.
but I don't, at the end of the day, he's supposed to be just like you or me, when it comes to anything criminal.
Heart.
And
He is not just like you or me or anybody else.
no,
He has, from being in the royal family, you got special privileges. Come on.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
But
I
I
I
think
agree.
also, even with the special privileges, you still probably live a very sheltered life when you live in Buckingham Palace and you have to obey by everything your, I guess, your grandmother says. I couldn't even
Yeah.
imagine. I
Hmm.
couldn't imagine living in that world. I wouldn't. No thanks. I would not.
No, I mean Queen Elizabeth is probably and Philip to some degree the last generation of a really um, living living the crown the way it was intended to live. And now these new generations, I mean, you only need to look at, I don't know how we got onto the royals, but anyway, you only need to look at Meghan and Harry
Epstein.
and Epstein and Andrew and that, and just to see that, no, we don't want to play that way. Uh, what that means for the monarchy, who knows?
Who knows? I mean, you still got, as of right now, you got Charles, you've got William, and you've got George. Isn't his name George?
Yes. George, is it George? I can't keep up with
The
all these
base,
kids.
yeah, he's George. I'm pretty sure.
I know. There's many of those kids as there are Kardashian kids now. I can't keep up.
Oh, not
Storm,
even,
Stormy
not
True,
even.
no. Oh,
There's so
maybe.
many freaking Kardashian kids. I can't keep up.
No, no. Innocent people don't go around town discarding bloody items belonging to their missing husband or wife. That's true, Bella. It's true.
Yes,
I don't tend
and
to go
and
around doing that.
he's as guilty as I'm sorry. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's, yeah. I'm sorry. When you are seen throwing away evidence that is bloody, um, and then you say she's playing up a character from a book,
Mm-hmm.
please. And this was all written out, wasn't it? Wasn't this written down? Like there was a script. Was that
Yeah,
him? Are we on the
I
same guy that I'm
will,
thinking of?
the Gone Girl. Oh, hang on. What are we talking about now?
There was. I'm thinking this was. There was someone who wrote out a script of what they were going. No, that was Patrick Frazee, I think.
Oh my gosh, you can't keep up with our murderers here. But interesting. Sarah just said, well, Epstein was definitely killed. He was going to bring down a lot of powerful people. Royals, immediate royals under UK government rules can't be jailed. So I didn't know that. I know that. I mean, I would assume that probably there would be something, but I mean, it would be because to protect the crown, and that is the number one goal, is to um, protect Great Britain. Um, I believe not so much the actual royal per se, but yeah, crazy. You still there, Ginger? I don't know where she went. We lose Ginger. Where'd you go? Oh, lost Ginger. Yeah, Blondie, it is the worst part of this all. 5 children. I mean, even if he doesn't die, he he's not going to be looking after them in any capacity whatsoever. Hello.
Now you. Okay. I don't know. You lost me.
Yep, I lost you. I'll just blame StreamYard.
I had a bunch of texts come through, and I don't know if that threw me off or not.
Yeah, it's your fault.
My fault. Okay.
But anyway, you're at home. Excellent.
Yeah. I
Finally.
mean, like I said, they switched up my medication. They tried something that I'm like, really, this is going to work, and it actually did.
Woo.
And just hearing the words feeding tube and moving me to Philly was enough to be like, please God, no. And then I think honestly it was because the endoscopy, and I waited over like maybe 30 hours to eat something,
Yeah, that was the worst.
and and then taking the medication, then eating helped so much. It really did. So I was like,
That is,
okay, let's see
that
how
is
long
good.
this lasts. It worked. Doesn't mean I haven't felt the need to be sick, but it wasn't forced to be sick. So, like, where it just, I'm still not feeling phenomenal in my stomach. I can handle
Oh,
that rather than it being my bag.
yeah. Yeah, I know. We all have a few things wrong with us, and we can cope with some a lot better than others. I'd
Yep.
rather actually have I'd rather have a sore back than feel nauseous. It's actually, um,
No, I'll take. I can take a pill for the nauseousness. I can't take a pill for the back. That just
I
doesn't.
tried to. This goes away. Never goes away. Yes.
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm going to pop off, and I might give you a call if you are not on the phone anymore.
No, I just got to answer one text, and then other than that, I should be good.
Okay.
I have
Well, I
to.
might be back.
I'm back and forth talking to Tina. I'll tell you why when we get off.
Okay. All right.
I think you might know why, but I'll tell you. When we talk.
I may do. Okay. Thanks for coming in, guys, and I will
Yeah.
update you if we hear any more. Thanks for coming
Adios.
in,
Thanks for
Jen.
having me in for a little bit.
That's okay. Bye bye.
Bye.